Okay, class, welcome back to English 1301. I want to talk about the final exam here that I promised I would talk about. Class, for sections 11918 and 11923 and 11934, your due date for our final exam is November 28th. And then, class, for sections 11901 and 13855, your due date is, November 29th for the final exam. And, class, once again, I posted at least a week ago the instructions for your final exam, and we're going to go over that right quick because I'm going to slightly amend it. Class, in this memo that I sent you out a while back, it said, in regards to the end of the semester, you'll be required to write one final essay. It will serve as your final exam. So that is that essay, class, that we're going to be talking about right now and that you received the instructions for. For this essay, you're not required to go to the writing center, but you may get assistance there if you wish. In addition, you will turn in only the final draft through Blackboard Messages. So class, when you turn it in with the standards in the format that I've been helping you with all semester long in regards, into the Modern Language Association format for college level, university level essays. So exactly as you formatted your other three major essays, class, you will format once again this final exam. While all your other essays this semester received letter grades, this essay will be graded pass or no pass. If you pass the essay, there will be minimal comments. If you receive a no pass, the grade will be justified with extensive comments. So, class, I read them like we have for decades for final exams in the English discipline. I'll read through it quickly. If it's a passing, it's moving along. I see a few errors, but it's flowing and getting the job done, pass. If it doesn't pass, it's riddled with basic, once again, grammar errors, basic sentence structure errors. I'll mark an NP on it, and then I'll give the justified comments on why it was a failing or a no passing essay. If it was a passing essay, class, it's going to go down in my grade record book as 100%. If it is a no passing, it'll go down as 50%. When your grades are tabulated this semester, 25% for the memoir, 25% for the profile, 25% for the review, 25% for the final exam. Very good, excuse me. And class, in addition to that, I'm continuing to grade your profile essays 7 days a week and should have everything back certainly by the time this is due. I'm in pretty good shape. I've been doing marathon grading sessions every day. Plus, if students needed to make adjustments for some other portfolios, which a few students did, I'm getting to those too. So, and I'll be continuing to grade through the Thanksgiving, weekend. And then, class, once again, I hope you have a good Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving weekend. Class, I think I just have a few allergies. Let's go over these directions for the final exam. And once again, the final exam will be 700 to 1,000 words in length. the same length that we've been using all semester long. Class, the instructions which I gave to you under, once again, Blackboard handouts, and I alluded to it, class, once again, for under Blackboard announcements. In these instructions under Blackboard handouts, for this essay, imagine that the Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring an essay contest. The prize-winning essays will be published in the El Paso Times in a special Sunday issues section entitled The Special Traditions That I Remember. Class, the special traditions I remember. Each essay is to be an essay that explains one of the following. So class, you could write either about this. Number one, a local custom. Explain one of the interesting local customs, remembering to give plenty of details so that a person from another area of the country would understand what the custom is and why it occurs. Well, you want your explanation to be interesting. You don't want the custom to seem silly, so be careful in choosing details as you explain. So class, what could be a local custom? I don't know. I've read some good ones over the years. A local custom may be something you do with friends on a Friday night. A local custom may be the cruise, if people still do that. I read an essay a good few years ago from a young woman from Hanks High School who wrote about the cruise that she went on, used to go on Friday nights when she'd get together with his friends. A local custom. Maybe class, the local custom could be getting together with your friends to go to a high school football game, or a local custom to meet once a week somewhere with some folks and do something you've done for years. Maybe a local custom could be going to an annual car show, class, or maybe a local custom could be, all sorts of things like that, class. Maybe local custom where you get together and you shoot basketball once a year, or maybe local custom where you get together and go hear some music at your friend's house or something like that. Any local customs, class, like that. It could be maybe getting together, a local custom for you. Kind of overlaps with a family tradition, maybe a local custom where you get together once a week or once a month at some friend's house and play cards and have food and do a ritual like that. Class, or you could write about, and these kind of overlap, but you could write about a family tradition. Explain one of your own family traditions. Remember to give us plenty of context for that tradition. On what occasions does it occur? Who participates and why? How often does this occur? Etc. You want to create a picture of this tradition for your readers, so choose your details carefully. So class, a family tradition could be maybe something you do on Christmas Eve. Maybe it could be like the Posada. Maybe it could be something that you do on Dia de los Muertos. Maybe a family tradition could be Christmas. Maybe something you do for Thanksgiving or have done. Or maybe I had a student the other day in class said, Mr. Welsh, once a year we do a family reunion. I had a young man the other day in class say once every 4 years his family has a family reunion in Spain. So a family tradition, maybe getting together in the old days would be to get together on Sunday and watch the Dallas Cowboys lose. However, class, love them or hate them, they're having a pretty good year. I just read the number 4th winning team in the NFL right now. So, maybe something like that. Maybe a family tradition. A student asked me the other day, he said once a month we get together at my grandmother's house after going to Mass. I said, it's great. Anything like that. Anything like that, class. Family tradition. All right? So either a local custom family tradition. Now, if you're not from El Paso or Juarez or here on the borderland, that's all right. Wherever that you feel that you could write about. Okay? I had a student a few years ago, a woman, about a 50-year-old woman who was in my class, and she'd spent her life in Detroit and only recently came to El Paso. She wrote me a beautiful memoir about every 2 years outside in the, they go to a lake outside in Michigan and do a family reunion excuse me, in Michigan. It was fantastic. Class, that was her family tradition. So, family tradition. Great. And then, class, this is where I'm going to amend this. Originally, and it'd be okay if you do this, but you don't have to. It's been a long semester, class. We're going to hope that to wrap it up in good shape. Let me amend this a little bit. It says in each case above, you will need to investigate the tradition or custom in 2 stages. First, draw on your own memory of the custom or tradition, accumulating as many details as you can. Second, you want to collect some extra information. If you're explaining a local custom, you will want to look at some accounts of it up in the newspaper or interview a participant. If you're explaining a family tradition, you want to talk to members of your own family to get perspectives about the tradition besides your own. I'm going to amend this, class. You don't have to do that. I've decided to amend it. You don't have to look up a newspaper account. You can if you want, online, offline, but you don't have to interview a family member. What I want you to do in this is write about what you know. Okay? And that's, class, a lot of times where a lot of good writing comes from. Is your own tradition, your own customs, your own family, your own language. Class, you could write about it, if you would. I'll never forget, I shared the other day in class that on Christmas Eve for many years when I was young, there was a family in LA that would always come to our house on Christmas Eve, and they were the Molinas. Antonio, Sadie, and Mr. Molina. They'd come to our house and they'd bring homemade tamales. I always remember this as a kid. And my mom would bake Irish soda bread. And sometimes she'd have some ham and potatoes and cabbage. And they'd bring the tamales and they'd come over to our home. And we had the Irish thing. And my dad would always have by that time, there's a lot of years, my father wasn't drinking, but he would always have a bottle of Irish whiskey in the house, and he'd offer that to Mr. Moline, and Mr. Moline always liked to taste. And so we'd share, Christmas Eve in LA with the Molinas and our family. It's fantastic. I'd watch it, and I'd eat the tamales, I'd eat the soda bread, look at the whiskey. I was young then. So that was a very, very ritualistic thing back home. They were great, great friends of the family. And for many years, and then, people move and move away, and I think both of the Molinas are gone now. Their son I went to high school with. Nobody's been able to find him for a long time. But anyway, they were good memories. So anything like that, class, a family tradition, you know. Maybe Thanksgiving. Who does what during Thanksgiving? Give me that narrative. And I look forward to it. And then, class, I guess that's about it. We got the due dates. We got the directions. We've got everything done, class. So this is it. My hope is, it's been I don't want to say a challenging semester. It's been a good semester, but, you know, it's been a lot. A lot of people coming back to classes after COVID, and a lot of people relearning things, both your professors and you as students. Class, my hope for you is that if you are enjoying education and you're getting something out of the college, stay with it. Keep on the path with your writing, you know. It can be a frustrating thing. It is for me too still, class, at times. You know, it takes work. A lot of you have worked very hard this semester. Stay with it. Stay with it. Remember that, you know, my hope for you is that I want the best things for my students. You know, I want the best things. A lot of my students have gone on to great things. Gone on to universities all over the country. So stay with it. I believe in education. I believe that sometimes you have a setback. Maybe you're not where you want to be. So be it. You know, stay with it. Stay with it. You know, keep working hard. Keep improving. Keep engaging the language, class. Engaging it as best as you can. And remember that wherever you are, that's where you are. And I'll be right there with you, class. I'm still doing it too, you know. Some days I get frustrated with writing. Sometimes it doesn't come as easy for me, but you know, I stay with it. I stay with it. I keep working on books. I keep working writing. I try and hit something every day, you know. Just stay in the game of it. Got a few allergies tonight, but I'm all right. So, good luck, class, and know that I want the best for you. You know, I want the best for you. If you like school, stay with it. If you think you can benefit from it, stay with it. And then actualize your dreams. You go on to UTEP, great. You get your certificates, great. You get your degrees, great. You go to graduate school, great. You can't lose. You can't lose. Don't let anything stop you, class. Even sometimes yourself. You know, even sometimes yourself. And just keep, no matter where you are with the language, you keep grasping it, you know. Same with Spanish. You know, same with Spanish. Speaking of that, I had a guy knock on my door today. I go to the door. It's the dean of the sociology and anthropology department at UTEP, and I felt so blessed. Earlier this year, he took me over to Juarez with him, and you know, he speaks perfect Spanish. He was rapping to folks on the streets. I'm rapping a little bit, but man, you know, he's got it going on. So, you know, I don't beat myself up that, you know, I'm not the dean over there, or my Spanish isn't as good as his, because he got his doctorate degree partly in Mexico City, and he studied at the Sorbonne in Paris, France. You know, and but you know, I've got maybe things that he doesn't have. You know, he's certainly not a poet, and he certainly hasn't published 13 books of poetry, and he hasn't, you know, won awards and put his work all over the world like I have in magazines and anthologies. But he's done a lot of great writing on his own, and I was just so thankful he showed up today with a pecan pie. And my hope is that he's going to take me to Mexico again, because the last time I went over, I don't think I'd been to Juarez in 15 years, and we went over and I was tripping. I was digging it, you know. Love the language, love being here on the border, love English too. I'm still struggling with English, class, still working it, you know. still trying to come up. So if I'm on that journey, if I'm gonna work, you can work too. If I'm still working hard at my age, trying to keep writing and get new books out there and get rejected, and people tell me no, and some people tell me yes, you can too. Don't let anybody keep you down. You know, I love El Paso. I love this community. I love this life, and stay en español, stay fuerte, strong. You know, stay strong in it. Keep going, keep going. I want the best for you. If I see you on the streets in the years to come, I love seeing ex students. Um, I want to hear good things. That's one thing El Paso needs is educated people. There's a lot here. Stay in the game, stay strong, stay in the struggle, stay strong, actualize your dreams. Be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, be gentle, as you continue. Always know that, we can all go further as best as we can, trying as we can. Well, and with that said, class, I guess that's about it for me. I look forward to wrapping up the semester. I look forward to reading your essays. I've given your essays a lot of attention this semester. I've read some good work and stay with it. And then you have a good Christmas. I'll be back in college at the springtime. And, mucho gusto, as they say in Espanol, in Spanish. Class, have a great Thanksgiving. Have a good Christmas, and you'll be hearing from me one-on-one. And that's it. I'm done. All right, class. Take care. Bye-bye.